Growing up as a brown girl, it took me years to finally figure out how to do my makeup. But the number one thing that helped me the most was to do makeup according to my own skin tone and what my skin needs. But with the number of viral makeup tips going on the internet from makeup artists, influencers, and the pros, I thought today I could show you guys how the popular staple viral makeup techniques compare to the brown girlified version of it. So you guys could really see side by side how following the right makeup tips can really make an impact on the outcome of your makeup look. So if you have brown skin, or maybe you're just wondering why these makeup tips don't work for me, sit down, grab a snack, because you're about to find out why. So with that being said, let's get into it. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ravi-Conway, your fairy brown mother, hopefully today, here to help you solve all of your makeup problems. This video is really special to me because I feel like this is the video that I wish 10-year-old me had, and it's also an updated remake or similar video to my very first ever long form YouTube video that I posted 2 years ago. Except this time, I want to show you the viral or popular staple technique on this side of my face, and on this side, I'm going to show you how I fix it for my skin tone and skin type in hopes that you will be able to finally understand we cannot just replicate every single viral makeup tip that we see on the internet. You have to understand how to adapt it to your skin tone and skin type. The first technique that I keep seeing is color correcting dark circles using a red blush. I know. The idea behind it is that you use red corrector to correct any hyperpigmentation or discoloration. I literally look like I have a rash on my face right now, but now we have to cover up all of the redness that we just added to our face. So color corrector, in my opinion, is not a one size fit all. You need to find a corrector that's meant for your skin tone. And not only that, you have to correct based on using color theory. So a great example of this is my under eyes tend to go a little bit more bluish purple, but then my mouth area tends to go a little bit more like darker green. So sometimes I use two different correctors to correct the areas of my face where I need it. And the beauty of color correcting is you actually end up using a lot less product. Let me just show you. Okay, so this is one of my favorite color correctors currently. This is the new Morphe corrector in the shade Papaya, but this shade is not for everyone. And the best way to know whether a corrector is meant for you is by figuring out what sort of shade blends into your skin the best. I've seen a lot of people recommend this sort of peachy color corrector for every skin tone, but the moment this white peachy shade hits my darker pigmentation, it's gonna go ashy. Versus if I were to use this corrector shade, the Morphe corrector, or this is the e.l.f. dark pink corrector, these two match the depth of my skin. And again, the whole point of color correcting is to make your life easier, not harder. And now we finally have color correctors on the market that are not so dang expensive. The other thing when working with color correctors is you want to use the least amount of product as possible so that your makeup doesn't look cakey. So I will literally take some on the back of my hand, dip my brush in there, and then blend it out on the areas that I need a little bit of extra love. Now, do you have to use two correctors? Absolutely not. This is when I want to be perfect. Most of the time, I just go in with my Morphe corrector and she does a good ass job. Here is the viral TikTok technique, I guess, and my brown girl rendition for it. Honestly, this works for every skin tone. It's not even just brown skin. I'm struggling to understand who this is for outside of someone with green pigmentation, because red color corrects green, but I would not personally use this for hyperpigmentation. I am gonna set both sides down. I've actually been really liking setting the brown girl side down the way I usually do it with the Fenty Brightening Blurring Powder in the shade Cinnamon, just because it's actually the same color as my color corrector. And I am gonna set the other side with just a regular white setting powder. All right, makeup tip technique number 2, we have wear you foundation match. The popular technique that I see most people do is they take the foundation and they match it to one part of their face, and it's usually around this area. I'm actually really excited for this part because I finally get to show you guys why I don't match to any part of my face or body. This is the House Labs foundation in the shade 330, and I feel like this looks like a good shade match to one part of my face, but then look at how it looks compared to my neck. It's giving casket ready. This is why I'm tailoring this video specifically if you're someone who has like brown skin, hyperpigmentation, uneven skin tone. It's super normal because as brown girls, we tan differently. Hormones affect us in ways differently than people with different skin tones, and that's normal. You just have to know how to work with it rather than against it. Also, side note, I like really had to pile this foundation on to cover up all of that like redness going on here from makeup tip number 1. And you could still see this looks still a little pink compared to like this side of my face. This is after I set it. So I think that already kind of debunked makeup tip number 1. But now I'm gonna show you guys how to actually shade match properly so we're not ending up like this casket ready. First, you need to analyze your skin tone. You're a brown girl with pigmentation. My face is visibly lighter than my neck, and I also have surface tone redness, meaning where I have acne scars tend to pull a little bit more red. The first way, and in my opinion the best way, is to find a foundation shade that matches nothing. Yes, I'm just joking, but basically a foundation that's the average of your pigmentation levels. I think this is also a great lesson in undertones because I feel like you could really see the different undertones going on here. But essentially, this is the shade that I used here. This is a cool toned foundation, the Haus Labs foundation in shade 330. But this foundation only matches the lightest part of my face right here. Then you have the NARS Radiant Glow foundation in the shade Cadiz, and this is a more warm toned foundation, even though this is labeled as, I think, cool. It's clearly much warmer toned than my skin, and I have a neutral olive undertone. And if you don't know what your undertone is, I have a full 15-minute video that you can go watch here. I'll make it available here because knowing your undertone is actually life-changing because just because you have brown skin does not mean you have a warm undertone. Now we have this bad boy here. And honestly, if you were to put this on like every part of my face, it kind of matches nothing. It's a little bit too light for my neck. It's a little bit too dark for my face and a little bit too warm, and it's a little bit too light for my forehead. But based on this, you would say, oh, that doesn't match me, right? Oh, this foundation is not a perfect match for me. But this foundation, when I put it on, matches nothing, but at the very end, you'll see it is the perfect shade match to just even everything out. The other reason I love this foundation is because it has the perfect neutral olive tone to it, and Armani is one of the few foundations on the market that has like 8 different olive shades, especially with the reformulation. I know a lot of people were super skeptical about the reformulation, but I fucking love it because they just added blue and green pigment, which means the undertones I think are actually true. It's so rare to find a brand where the undertones are actually true to what they claim to be. They should all be true to what they claim to be, but clearly that's not the case. Also, next to the olive tone foundation, which runs a hair more yellow-green, you could see my mouth on this side looks really pink. Look at that. Now, I want you to look at my face from afar. We have Armani on this side, and then we have the Haus Labs on this side, which only matches my face. Yeah. This is so much better. Now I want to talk about the second option. If you want your makeup to be perfect and you have pigmentation like me, you have to use 2 foundations. I know, I'm really sorry. You don't have to, that's why I gave you an option, but this is still not like perfect. It is 80-90% there because again of my pigmentation. But if you want it to be perfect, you have a special event, you're going out, you're doing your own wedding makeup, you need 2 foundations. I would essentially use the lighter shade on the lighter part of your face, so like to almost highlight, and then the darker shade on the perimeter of your face to match your neck. And the beauty of this is you do not have to use bronzer. That's the nice part. So you get to skip a step and your base makeup looks essentially like perfect. You could honestly even skip concealer if you wanted to. But this to me would be option number 2. But I honestly don't have time to do that every day. I did do that on my wedding day, but every day I just use the average of my pigmentation, which for me is this foundation and a few other shade matches I have. Okay, the third makeup tip that I want to show you has to do with setting powder. So I am just going to lightly conceal my under eyes using the new Milk Makeup Gel Concealer in the shade 8. Something I want to note is I just put the same concealer on both sides, and maybe I need like a full ass like tattoo coverage concealer, but you can still see that redness peeking through here around my mouth. and I put the same amount of concealer on this eye, and I was able to achieve a better result with a lot less. And that's the beauty of color correcting. You could wear less product because you did the base work ahead of time. The next makeup trend that has stayed going popular, stayed viral for years, the bright pink under eye trend. This sort of shade was popularized by people with cooler undertones and fairer skin. It makes sense because a lot of people with fair skin and cool undertones has a lot of surface tone redness or even rosacea, so that pinkness can kind of help balance and blend into their skin tone. But on me, it just emphasizes my dark circle hollow even more than it already was. Goddamn. And I know a lot of people are gonna get mad for me saying this. I'm not saying that pink powder, pink makeup is not meant for brown skin. I love me a pink powder just at the right depth for your skin tone. But to be completely honest with you, most brown girls, black girls, the powder that they need is usually in the either peach range or the yellow range, but not too yellow unless you have really warm undertones. If you have dark circles like me or neutral olivey undertones like me, I love me a peach powder. This is the About Face Beauty powder. It's in the shade Draped, and this is actually a really unique shade of powder because it's like a mid-tone peach shade, but you have to find the right shade of powder for your skin tone. Otherwise, again, you're gonna end up either looking like an Oompa Loompa or you're gonna end up in Ash City. And I also just think peach powder overall just looks a lot more natural. Like, look at how this looks here compared to this look, and now if I ever take photos or even just like I'm out and about, it's not gonna look ashy and cakey versus like this side. You don't see that hollowness as much. Additionally, using a powder like this to set the rest of your face can make it further look more ashy because this shade is lighter than the shade that I put concealer on. So that's where I like this powder in particular. This is the Dibs Beauty Dual Powder. This has a darker shade for my face and a lighter shade for brightening my under eyes. I literally been using this powder every single day, and it comes with quite a few different shades. If you don't want to buy two different powders, I think this is a great option. The only downside is if you have oily skin like me, I wouldn't say this is the best for oily skin. So that's why I will use this first to really make sure my oil is under control. And then I will go in with this bad boy. Honestly, I'm getting triggered kind of doing this because I feel like this was what my makeup used to look like when I was growing up. And I honestly always thought makeup wasn't for me because this was always the outcome. It would either look ashy or too orange, or you could see my hyperpigmentation. I really hope this video helps a lot of people because this video would have helped me 10 years ago. The next popular makeup technique or makeup tip that has been popular for years is warmish brown eyeliner to make brown eyes pop. And there's one video in particular that I remember was made quite a bit ago by a pro makeup artist using MAC Costa Riche. And don't get me wrong, I do use her and I think she still looks pretty, but everyone always talks about eye color, but then they forget your skin tone also affects the way that the color is going to look. Like, I have brown eyes and they're honestly pretty medium brown eyes, and I'm not getting that much of a pop as to like what I could be getting using color theory. And again, I love Kevin's work and I love this eye pencil just when I want my eyes to pop extra. I love using a more reddish burgundy eyeliner. This is my favorite eyeliner for brown eyes and brown skin. It's the Laura Mercier eyeliner in the shade Cocoa. Because it's a more plummy, almost burgundy brown sort of tone, it complements brown eyes really nicely without being too harsh. The plum, the jewel tones are on the opposite side of the color wheel as orange, and most brown eyes, even dark brown eyes, tend to run a little bit warmer. So that's the color theory behind it. I feel like you could really see a difference. I notice my brown eyes more on the right than my left. But you guys can let me know in the comments. This is the difference between the two shades. Laura Mercier Cocoa is the bottom one and Costa Riche is the top one. Costa Riche is a little bit more like warm brownie versus the bottom one leans slightly cooler, which I think just makes my eyes pop a lot more. Every time I wear this, I get compliments, and I actually wore this on my wedding day. It was my wedding day eyeliner. I opted for this shade over black, and I feel like it emphasized my eyes the perfect amount where I wanted to. But of course, course, if you're a brown girl, black is also another option because again, it provides that extra contrast that we need. That's why most of us were literally born with kajal and wearing black eyeliner, because on brown skin and brown eyes, it really helps our eyes pop. What's kind of funny is the more I'm looking at this side, the more like the eyeliner looks like orange, but that might be because you could still see the redness from the blush that I use under my eyes. But I just added some mascara, and now let's do makeup tip number 5, which I think is the most important, but also kind of the most depressing. The final makeup tip that I will leave you guys today is we gotta stop buying and falling for every single viral makeup shade. This is the viral NARS Orgasm shade. I'm not gonna say the name. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know the shade. This, in my opinion, is the OG blush that made me wonder what was wrong with me. Honestly, because back when this blush was going viral, I went to Sephora and a couple of Sephora employees recommended me this blush because that's what all the girlies were buying. But because of color theory and the depth of my skin, literally you see nothing. This shade works best on someone with light to medium skin maybe, and a cooler to neutral undertone. Like, honey, I'm getting up in there and there be nothing. And the same thing pertains to lipstick. Like, please. The latest shade that's been going viral is L'Oreal Ballerina Shoes. I don't have it anymore. I'll put up a video of here what it looked like on me. Of course, I tried it. I looked like the grandpa eating wet paint. Today, I'm gonna show you guys what this looks like. This is the sister shade Silverstone. It's the same essential depth of ballerina shoes, just more like purpley. And look, of course, we can fix it with a brown lip liner, but you shouldn't have to. Makeup should be fun. It should be easy. You shouldn't have to be adding 500 million things to get something to work that you paid $5 for. So that's where we kind of have to understand color theory, right? You have to understand the depth of your skin, and the undertone of your skin matters when choosing shades that are right for you. For example, because I have medium deep brown skin and neutral olive undertones, my skin loves a more muted pinky blush because that's essentially how I would look like if I were to naturally flush. This is also from NARS in the shade Dolce Vita. And I'm mainly mentioning this because I want to say a quarter of my short form content is finding brown girl alternatives or dupes for viral or trending shades. But I want you guys to be able to do that. And the main way to know that is if it looks ashy, if it has a white base, and you have darker skin, it's not going to work for you. And does it suck not being able to try the trending products or see what the hype is about? Absolutely. But I would rather not waste my money. Let's find shades that work for our skin tone, because I feel like in 2026, we're moving towards an era where we can do so, versus our moms, our grandmas, like, didn't have that option. As an older millennial, this was my 2010, 2000s era makeup because that's all the shades that they had. And for the lip, I'm also going with a Frost lipstick, also from L'Oreal. This is the shade Bronzine, which has a little bit of a warmer undertone and I think suits my skin better. That being said, I do want to emphasize, wear what you enjoy. If like the lighter shades of makeup and ashier lip tones are something that you enjoy, that's completely okay. This video is strictly for people who want to get makeup to match their own skin. That's where I think this is great. I love me a fun makeup look, but to me, I don't know, oh my god, you could see, here's the and this is the final before and after. The left side with the popular viral makeup tips and the right side with the brown girl adapted version. Let me know if this sort of video and format was helpful, and I really hope you know that makeup is for everyone. You just have to find the right shade for you and your skin tone. Of course, as usual, all products with my shades will be linked below in the description. And if you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, be sure to drop them in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give your girl a like, make sure you subscribe. And instead of seeing you guys next time, I will see you guys in like 30 seconds, because if you want to know how to find your undertone, I'm gonna pop that video right here, because that is the fundamental way you will really know how to do your makeup. All right, bye.